16 WAPT News Live at 5 starts now.
A protest at Ole Miss after President Obama is reelected. Tonight, the school is reacting after it received national attention. Plus, a car salesman is tricked by a thief who shot him with a stun gun. How police were able to catch him.
Mr. Payne, can you tell us why you accepted the bribes?
A former Jackson officer busted in an undercover sting decided to change his plea.
Now, your weather first.
Had to show you this. Our friends at MEMA are working hard up there in New Jersey, and that nor'easter's moving up, and they had snow today, probably 2 to 4 inches there on the coast of New Jersey. So they're taking it in good stride there because that wind blowing and that snow, it's cold for us southerners up there. All right, we got a cold night headed our way. Through the evening, temperatures falling into the 40s. And tonight, a good dose of frost for our northern counties. And south of Jackson, looks like patchy to widely scattered frost likely. I'd find out how long this chilly snap lasts, because I have some really warm weather headed our way, and I'll let you know when it gets here coming up.
Thank you, David. New tonight at 5, 2 students were arrested at a protest at Ole Miss after President Obama was reelected. I'm Stephanie Maxwell.
And I'm Darren Gito. Take a look at this monitor here behind me. We have some video of that incident that happened on the campus of Ole Miss. Now, apparently during this protest, an Obama-Biden campaign sign was set on fire. Well, this event is now attracting national attention. What started with about 40 students in front of the student union ballooned to a reported 400 students. The university president says it was not a riot, though, despite what the campus TV station reported and social media claimed. No damage to property was reported, but he says there's an investigation into student conduct. We talked to a licensed therapist who says the elections can cause anxiety, and the folks need to take a step back.
Not to be driven purely by emotion, that's correct. So to stop, to challenge the thoughts that you have, because we all go out throughout the day, we have thoughts that aren't exactly based in fact. You know, emotion distorts the way we see things.
Now, Ole Miss is planning a candlelight vigil and walk around the campus tonight. They are calling the event We Are One Mississippi Candlelight Walk. And viewers have been sounding off about this protest on social media all day long. Take a look at some of those comments we have received. One viewer tweeted on Twitter, Ole Miss really gives our state a black eye, as if we need any more bad press. Hatred is an ugly thing. I hate it for my children. And on our WAPT Facebook page, Billy K. Jones said some people stand up and speak out for what they believe in different ways. You can continue to leave your comments on WAPT.com. Well, with that highly divisive election finally over, it's time for President Barack Obama to get back to work. As 16 WAPT's Tracy Mitchell reports from Washington, he's got a tough to-do list already.
People are clearly frustrated with all of the fighting in Washington, but they put the same president back in office and essentially the same Congress. A second term and a second chance for President Obama.
You get elected, you have a certain amount of political capital that you get to spend on doing. Well, Obama's going to come back saying, look, I just won re-election. I got some capital.
But after the last confetti falls and the excitement wears off, that political capital could dry up pretty quickly, especially since voters delivered a divided Congress.
I return to the White House more determined and more inspired than ever about the work there is to do and the future that lies ahead.
The president says progress comes in fits and starts. They'll get started next week when Congress returns to finish business. Democrats say they're ready to negotiate.
But we need the Republicans to help us. Compromise is not a dirty word.
A top priority, the fiscal cliff. Billions of dollars in expiring tax cuts and looming spending cuts set to take effect January 1st. The House Speaker says he's ready to stand with the president.
If there's a mandate in yesterday's results, it's a mandate for us to find a way to work together on the solutions to the challenges that we all face as a nation.
The White House says the president spoke with Republican and Democratic leaders today to reiterate his commitment to work together. In Washington, Tracy Mitchell reporting.
Early figures show that fewer people voted in yesterday's election. The AP says about 118 million people cast their ballots. Well, Madison County authorities were involved in yet another high-speed chase today. Stephanie's back in the studio with that.
Well, Darren, the chase started after a car thief shocked a car salesman with a stun gun. 16 WAPT's Aaron Kelly is live in Jackson to explain how the salesman was tricked. Aaron.
Well, Stephanie, managers here say it was easy for the suspect to get away because the car was parked right here along frontage road here. And they say this all happened as the salesman was popping the hood of the car, but officers say that suspect didn't make it very far. Richmond police say this happened around 10:30 this morning. Colin Johnson came to Watson Quality Ford, they say, and asked to see a car. And according to a manager, just as the salesman was opening the hood, the man used a stun gun on the back of the salesman's neck, grabbed the keys, and took off. Police from Madison and Ridgeland say they chased the car on Highway 51 and eventually stopped the suspect near Ann Smith Elementary, but not before they say the suspect ran through a fence. Colin Johnson is now being held at the Madison County Detention Center.
One of our used car managers happened to be on the phone with a Madison police officer at the time. He sends out over his radio. They immediately get in pursuit. They run him back into Ridgeland. Ridgeland stops him.
Now, police say Johnson is wanted out of Louisiana, Georgia, and faces charges in Madison, Ridgeland, and Jackson. According to managers here, that salesman is okay. He went home early today, was checked out of the hospital, was okay. As for the suspect was treated for minor injuries at the hospital. Live in Jackson, Aaron Kelly, 16 WAPT News.
Well, Aaron, what kind of security procedures does that dealership have for test drives?
The general manager told us, Stephanie, that they check people's licenses here. They make a copy of the driver's license. They leave them with the people here at the dealership so that they know who these salespeople are going out with on these test drives, Stephanie.
Okay. All right. Aaron Kelly live for us. Thank you so much. Let's get to a 16 WAPT exclusive now. A former Jackson officer accused of taking bribes took a plea deal today.
Mr. Payne, can you tell us why you accepted the bribes?
He doesn't have any comment.
Well, that was Anthony Payne leaving federal court. He pleaded guilty to taking $5,000 in bribes from undercover FBI agents. Those undercover agents paid Payne and two other officers who you just saw to transport fake drugs from a plane at Hawkins Field.
You guys releasing any statements in this case?
No, not before sentencing.
Not before sentencing.
Well, Payne is out on bond. He is scheduled to be sentenced February 28th. He's facing 10 years in prison. Two more officers, Moniette Jefferson and Terrence Jenkins, both pleaded guilty last month. Jackson police say a man caught on camera stealing porch furniture from two neighborhoods may have been stealing for weeks. As 16 WAPT's Andrew Kinsey reports, those stolen items are worth thousands of dollars.
Taking a look at stolen items from two Jackson neighborhoods. Police say the items are worth nearly $5,000. They range from concrete planters to lawn chairs. Investigators say the man behind the stolen items was hoping to cash in big.
But we know that he was stealing it and selling it.
Police say this man, 23-year-old Lee Ewing Jr., had been going around Jackson for at least 2 weeks stealing different yard and patio furniture from homes in the Fondren and Bellhaven neighborhoods. Ewing surrendered to police Monday after an arrest warrant was issued for him. Detectives say this surveillance video, which was posted on YouTube by a Bellhaven homeowner, caught him in the act. It shows a man walking up to the home in the middle of a day and taking chairs off the porch. Investigators believe Ewing stole items from at least 5 homes and then tried to sell them to a local business. Police say this video helped crack the case.
This is a perfect example of the Jackson Police Department and the upstanding citizens in Jackson working hand in hand together to keep our community safe.
Now, detectives said they believe Ewing acted alone in his theft. He was charged with 3 counts of petty larceny. More charges could be coming his way. In Jackson, Andrew Kinsey, 16 WAPT News.
Well, if you think any of the items that you just saw belong to you, you can call JPD at 601-960-2236 to claim them. Jackson police are working to make an arrest in a fast food restaurant holdup. Darren is here with that.
Yeah, Stephanie, the police say that armed robbery happened earlier today at a Jackson area Burger King restaurant. It is located in the 1400 block of Canton Mart Road. Now, police say a gunman robbed the restaurant, then he took off. Detectives have not released many details in this case, but employees working there this morning say no one was hurt. The woman accused of a robbery outside a Ridgeland bank was given bond today. A judge said Rachel Strickland's bond at $20,000. Detectives say surveillance video caught Strickland waiting for the victim's money to come out of the ATM. Then the camera caught Strickland swiping it out of her hand. Strickland led authorities on a high-speed chase, but was later arrested in Madison. Well, folks in the Northeast are bracing for some wintry weather tonight, Stephanie.
Yeah, they are, Darren. A lot of the Northeast feeling that big chill right now. It's all because of that nor'easter. We want to show you snow in Connecticut. Look at those big flakes. Some schools dismissed early because of all that heavy snow. Storm is expected to bring as much as 3 inches of snow to the region. And those folks already impacted by Superstorm Sandy, David. And for us, you mentioned we're going to see some frost.
That's right. Cold down here on the backside of that storm. Cold air coming down. Here's the look at the frost map. So from about Jackson down over to Natchez, Macomb, Brookhaven, patchy frost. But from Jackson to the northeast up towards Philadelphia, Forest, Carthage, Kosciuszko, I think frost will be very widespread. In fact, up to the northeast, temperatures will be very close to the freezing mark overnight tonight. Warmer temperatures. I see them, and I'll let you know when they'll get here. Coming up.
It feels completely amazing.
Some happy couples in some states where it's now legal for same-sex couples to get married. And a look at where this school bus ended up. How the students inside are doing tonight. You're watching 16 WAPT Live at 5.
Weather with Chief Meteorologist David Hartman. This is 16 WAPT News, the one to watch.
Well, it was pretty windy this afternoon, and the reservoir was all turned up. Look at that evening twilight. Skies are clear. Temperatures will be falling pretty quickly this evening. 65 for the high, 38 this morning, and sunrise tomorrow morning, 6:24. Here's the latest, 59 right now. Still a breeze out of the north at about 13 miles per hour. That breeze will diminish significantly once the sun goes down, although out by the reservoir, I think it will stay breezy. There's going to be a lot of frost around. I just showed you that map before we went to commercial, and then sunshine returns. In fact, we have several days of magnificent November weather in the forecast. Vicksburg 60, same in Macomb. Natchez 60. Well, look at the temperatures up here. It is chilly in North Mississippi, and I will say there was some cloud cover up there. Columbus is at 51 and Oxford 46. A very chilly day in North Mississippi. Overnight lows mid-30s for most spots. However, you go up into northern Madison County, out towards Attala County, Carthage, Kosciuszko, I'd even consider Morton and Forest. Temperatures are going to be very close to freezing, so there could be a light freeze off to the north and northeast of the Jackson area, and there's going to be a lot of frost across our northern counties, scattered to maybe just perhaps patchy frost down across the south. All right, look at the clear skies. There's that patch of clouds that moved across the northern part of the state, kept them chilly today, but we're clear the next couple of days, looking really good. Here's that nor'easter storm affecting New Jersey and New York City with heavy, wet snow. Generally looks like 2 to 4 inches there, although some spots in Connecticut have already had about 5 inches, so it just kind of depends on where you are there. It's kind of a side swipe. The winds are already blowing out of the northwest, so that is offshore, so significant tidal flooding has been missed with this storm. That is good news. So cool high pressure over us tomorrow. We'll warm up into the low 60s tomorrow, and then by Friday and Saturday, a significant southerly breeze takes over, and we will warm up just dramatically this weekend before that front brings us a round of rain on Monday. So patchy frost tonight, 35. Tomorrow, 63, just a light easterly wind, so not as windy, but still on the cool side. Cold tomorrow night, we drop to 40. And look how temperatures recover Friday. And over the weekend, 80 degrees, not out of the question. That front comes in with some heavy rain on Monday. And behind that front, it cools down. High temperature only in maybe the upper 50s, so some pretty chilly weather headed our way.
All right, David, thank you so much. Starting in just about a month, some marijuana users in Washington state won't have to hide from the law. Darren has those details.
Yeah, Stephanie, last night voters in Washington legalized the recreational use of marijuana.
You cannot be arrested for being in possession of an ounce of marijuana.
Yeah, supporters of Initiative 502 celebrated in Seattle last night. That new law proposes a steep tax on the drug, about 40%. Lawmakers say it'll take a year to get the tax system set up, but in the meantime, starting December the 6th, it will be legal for anyone over 21 to possess an ounce or less of marijuana. Some experts suggest the initiative will be challenged, though, in the Supreme Court since marijuana is still illegal under federal law. Now, Colorado also passed marijuana legalization last night.
I am feeling amazing. This is the best day I've seen in my life. And obviously, it's always nice to be right. So, but, you know, we're really happy. And most importantly, it's just wonderful that we're not going to see another 10,000 Coloradans arrested and made criminals in this coming year.
Amendment 64 will allow adults over 21 years old to possess up to an ounce of marijuana, but Colorado's governor is warning, though, the passage of the state amendment doesn't trump federal law. Well, voters in several other states also legalized same-sex marriage. Voters in Maine, Maryland, and Washington state approved measures. Recent national surveys show Americans have a shifting attitude towards same-sex marriage, with many now in favor of legalizing it. These couples in Seattle are happy with the outcome of the vote.
It feels completely amazing. I mean, we want to be fully married in our actual state, and so this is just exhilarating. It's like beyond exciting.
Everything we're hearing is very encouraging, and I feel very proud of my state right now.
But 38 states have passed bans on same-sex marriage, mostly by amending their constitutions to define marriage as a union between a man and a woman. In the 6 states, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Iowa, Vermont, New Hampshire, and New York, gay marriage is legal because actions by judges or legislators, not voters. Well, 2 students were injured in a school bus crash after that bus crashed into an apartment in Dallas. Investigators say the bus smashed through a gate Tuesday before slamming into the building. First responders were able to pull the students from the wreckage, and ambulances took them to nearby hospitals. The bus ended up wedged into the apartment. 5 people were inside at the time, but they were not injured. It isn't clear whether the driver had some health issue or something, or the bus just had mechanical failure. All right, Star Wars fans, Harrison Ford is open to the idea of bringing Han Solo back to life on the silver screen in 2015. That is according to Entertainment Weekly, quoting sources close to the just-announced Star Wars sequel. The announcement of a new Star Wars movie came with Disney's deal to buy Lucasfilm for $4 billion. Now, sources say, Stephanie, that actors from the original trilogy, Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker, and Carrie Fisher, who was Princess Leia, feel the same way. Can you imagine how much money that movie's going to make?
A lot.
Wow.
I can tell you that. I'm not even a huge fan, but I can tell you it's going to make a lot.
I don't know how it's going to be interesting to see how they, Ford said he's got to see the script first before he obviously signs on, but it'll be a big hit.
Oh, yeah. All right, Darren, thank you so much. Well, hey, Wall Street is not celebrating after Election Day. A look at your stocks in your Bloomberg After the Bell report.
This is 16 WAPT News, the one to watch.
A sell-off following President Obama's re-election. Plus, what does another 4 years mean for America's healthcare system? Deborah Costerin has your Bloomberg After the Bell report.
Stocks slid into sell-off mode, driving the S&P to its biggest decline since June following President Obama's re-election. But investors turned their focus back to the budget debate and Europe's debt crisis, and financial shares among the biggest losers. Well, struggling BlackBerry maker Research in Motion plunged after an analyst said the company's new BlackBerry 10 operating system, which is key to its comeback plan, may be dead on arrival. And looking ahead, President Obama's victory means the new health care law stays in place and that hospitals stand to benefit by getting more paying customers, while insurers like United Health Group will see their profits squeezed. This as the Affordable Care Act will expand coverage to as many as 30 million uninsured Americans starting in 2014. NBC, by the way, won the election night ratings race with more than 12 million viewers, while early Nielsen figures show CNN had the most among cable channels with about 9 million viewers. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Deborah Costerin with the Bloomberg After the Bell report.
Still a couple chilly nights headed our way. Frost tonight, but look at those weekend temperatures. Big warm up. It's going to be a great weekend to get out of doors. Next rain threat, Monday.
Okay. All right, David, thank you so much. Well, the 2012 presidential election is over, Darren, and no matter which way you voted, there are plenty of memorable moments.
Lots of them, and here's a look at some of the best lines along the way.
Rick Santorum.
Michelle Bachmann.
I'm Newt Gingrich. Mitt Romney. I'm Ron Paul. Tim Pawlenty.
Herman Cain.
To seek the office of the presidency of the United States today.
Lower taxes.
Cut taxes. Create jobs. Jobs. Creating jobs.
Repeal of Obamacare.
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 Obamacare. Obamacare was a reflection of the president's comments that he designed Obamacare on the Massachusetts health care plan.
999.
There's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone. Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see.
I am suspending.
I have decided
to stand aside.
Rick Perry getting ready to tell all his supporters.
Thank you for that support.
And for more of the best lines from the presidential election, just head on over to WAPT.com. We have a slideshow of all those lines along with some pictures.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you at 6.